But most guys out there want to do everything before they work on this. Those things in combination are the things that really make girls fall for you. I want to ask you guys, why are you here? And that might be a weird question, but like, why are you going to seminars like this? Why are you coming? Give me a little bit of, what are you working on in your life? So she likes you to have sex, right? So you're here to have more sex, say that. To emotionally connect with women. Yeah, I know we're here, guys. What do women want? Because obviously we're here to talk about dating, we're here to talk about how to get hotter women, how to connect with them. In whatever sense we phrase them, right? We want to be attractive men. Like, who wants to be a more attractive, high-level man? Everyone, right? Me too, everyone. So the age-old question is, what do women want? Do they want money? Do they want a guy with a six-pack? Do they want to be famous? You know? Do they want to have a guy with a good humor? They say that a lot. He needs to have good humor. Do they want to have lots of followers on Instagram? That seems to be the newest trend. Do they just want to settle down, have a house with 2 kids? What do they want? To be honest, I still don't know. But I got pretty close in my last couple of years of obsessing about it. Even our homeboy, Sigmund, he was like, he spent 30 years focused, he wasn't distracted by TikTok and Instagram. He was literally a psychologist, world famous. And he was like, what do women want? I still don't know. It's a tricky question. And the thing is, everything you guys said with, I want to be this, I want to be that, and so on, can be solved in different ways, right? If you say, okay, I want to socially connect more with women, you could do that going to therapy, going to improv classes, right? Reading a book about connecting and conversing, being a better man here, body, go to the gym, da-da-da. So the media obviously uses that, and I said the media, which basically means different companies, guys who want to sell us courses and so on. And maybe the answer is six-pack muscles, right? I mean, look at his fucking photo. There's 5 girls. They're all licking his abs. They love it. So what we should really focus on is getting fucking his six-pack and muscles. And what?
Licking his abs.
Yeah, licking his abs. No, that's, you're thinking the other way around. Okay, maybe we should be the romantic guy. You know, women say that I want a romantic guy who understands me, who can connect with me, and so on. Maybe we should become the rich banker. I mean, that's obviously a movie and it's set up and it's Leonardo DiCaprio, but clearly a dude in a suit who can buy the best cocaine in the best car is attractive, right? Women love guys with great style. We want to express ourselves. We want to know, is this guy living, 200 years ago? Or is he living in the 21st century? He knows how to dress, he belongs. Women want that as well. Or the PUA stuff. If we have the perfect opener. People ask me all the time, Alex, what's your opener? I'm like, hi. Perfect texting, in this 3-part texting thing. I will give you a 97% response rate and every girl will always respond and want to meet you. Perfect Tinder. Who spent money on Tinder? Be honest, I did. Right? Who is really happy with the results on Tinder? It's fine, perfect, yes. Some guys crush it, right? It can really work. And that's the thing, or the perfect date spot. Guys ask me as well, where should I take her on a date? I'm like, just have a walk in the park, just be chill. The tempting thing with all of those things is they do work, right? We should work on all those different areas. And especially with the PUA stuff, it's very tempting because who would describe themselves as very introverted or analytical, technical kind of guys? Okay, like half the guys. It's very tempting to be like, oh, if I just have that one formula, it's just like A, B, C, D, then I will get the pussy and everything is great. It's a very tempting fantasy and thought that obviously people want to sell us over and over again. And it's going to be true with fitness, it's going to be true with connecting and so on. So, that's the last one. Dan Bilzerian, pre-selection, you know, all you need is show yourself with girls, and then other girls are biologically programmed to da-da-da, and you know what I mean. So, who am I? Why am I talking about this to you guys? My name is Alex, and I've basically been in this weird journey for the last 8 years. So for the last 8 years, I was basically obsessed with the question, what do women want? What do men want? How can I be more happy? And in the process, I've approached thousands of girls. You know, I started in Vienna, then in Budapest, all over the world, and started off literally with like crippling social anxiety. Like I remember walking up down those streets out there for hours and hours, and I couldn't talk to a single girl, and it pissed me off. I was like, why is that? You know, what is it about me, inside me, that blocks me so much? But I overcame that, and we'll get to that later. Coached hundreds of guys in my workshops, the TNL workshops, now one-on-one as well. Then I was like, all right, approaching is cool, but how about network? So did my own bikini brand. Who knows Tilted? All right, pretty famous by now. So I, founded my own bikini brand, obviously to get girls and to have a bigger network. And yeah, built through that a worldwide worldwide network of guys, ladies, businessmen, guys like little billionaires, top models, and so on. And the most important part, I love my life. I really love my life now. I'm very happy with the friends I'm getting, with the girls I'm getting, with the girl I'm currently dating, because I'm in a relationship now. All right, this is me last year.
Nice.
Thank you. My marketing advisor said, Alex, don't put that picture in. They're gonna think you're a total asshole, it's not relatable, guys just wanna have one girl. It's a bit douchey, right? But it's cool also, come on. This is me in 2021, and basically, obviously, this leads to reactions. I know, I looked at people like pictures of Dan Bilzerian or similar stuff, and I'm like, what an asshole, fuck those bitches, he's probably rich, they're only gold diggers. Why are they there? Da da da. Instantly like rejecting certain things that seem pretty unreachable, right? I guess you guys can maybe relate with that feeling here and there. We see something and we instantly, instead of figuring out how did that person get there, why is it like that, we instantly reject it in order to protect our ego. I did the same thing. I remember I was like maybe 20 years old and I was like going to clubs here and there. I didn't really like it. And I saw those beautiful girls, blonde, whatever, short skirt, those club bitches, right? And of course, I wanted to have sex with them. But instead of admitting that I'm just not in their league, I was like, yeah, those stupid blondies. I'm more into girls, who I can have a conversation with and who understand me, and not those like superficial Instagram girls. So instead of because I'm now friends with those Instagram girls, and they're also smart, they also do stuff, they also study, they also can go deep, you can also have a conversation with them. So it's very easy to reject that. Well, that was me in Vienna. Neuburgasse? Starbucks? Does it still exist?
Yes.
All right, cool. I was grinding my way in Starbucks. Worked there for like a year, making some money. And really, I took that job to be more social, right? I was spending a lot of time behind the computer. I was professionally playing poker before that, and I realized, all right, probably that's not a great way to meet women. Maybe being the cute barista boy, at least I'm gonna be exposed to a little more people that way. So that's quite a transformation. Obviously I didn't have money back then because otherwise why would you work at Starbucks? And I identified kind of 5 elements that really helped me get to where I am. Is that interesting? Should I reveal them?
Yeah.
Nice. All right, the main thing is those 5 elements are not evenly distributed. So this is wrong. I don't give each of those 20%. And that is the danger, right? That we talked before. It's like, okay, if you only work on your body, then you will X, right? Then you will get this. If you work really hard on this, you will get X. If you work on your Tinder profile, everything else will solve itself. And logically, we know this is not true. But it's very easy to put all our focus into a certain thing suddenly because of some promised land. So let's talk about body, because it is important. A similar thing, right? YouTube, there are certain videos where there's power lifters, and then guys are like, wow, wow. And people forget with all of those things that between the step of girl is attracted to you and, you know, likes you, and girl having sex with you, there's a black box. There's a lot in the middle happening that you as a man need to figure out. And for some reason, we always fall into those things of like, oh, if I have this, then I have that. If I have the money, I get this. I have the car, this. I have the body, this. There's this huge middle part that we're going to talk about later that you need to work on as well. So a woman actually said, a well-built physique is a status symbol. It reflects you worked hard for it. No money can buy it. You cannot inherit it. You cannot steal it. You cannot borrow it. You cannot hold on to it without constant work. It shows dedication, discipline, self-respect, dignity, patience, work ethic, passion. Those are all amazing attributes, right? But did she ever say anything like, oh, I love the width of his biceps, or how he has an 8-pack, or you know, how his skin is perfectly toned, or anything like that? The woman here is talking about the attributes that having a strong body basically comes with. For you to build a strong body, to go to the gym, to be active, you need to have all those things as well. Because going to the gym usually fucking sucks. Like, I don't enjoy going to the gym, right? There's always this feeling of, oh, can I sit home? But you know what's really is amazing? Being done in the gym, having done the workout, you know? Like some famous writer, it was like, he said, an author, he said, I don't enjoy writing, I enjoy having written, right? So the other part is like each of those things she mentioned, you can also get to with other things, you know, your dedication, which can be your approach to life. How do you approach things? Do you go to work like bitching and whining to your girlfriend or people around you, and you complain about your boss and the government and da-da-da? Or are you like, all right, I'm gonna get the fucking job done, and then it's done, and I'm gonna do this. You can develop discipline for meditation and so on. Passion, how do you talk about your life? You're like, yeah, I'm from Vienna and work in marketing. Or I'm like, yeah, currently I'm really, you know, working on this, but it's just a transition thing. I'm saving money to move there, and then I have this big project and da-da-da. So that's what women are attracted to. So it's not per se the body, it's what you need to get to the body, which also comes up in many other things. Self-respect, your own principles. Are you a pushover, or do you stand up for yourself? Can you ever tell a bully like, nah, fuck off, you know? So, we don't need to go to the gym, right? Body's not so important. No, of course you should go to the gym, right? You should work, and I'm not saying gym like as the place or the church, like you should work out, you should be active, you should do sports, because there's literally no excuse not to. We are, I think, the first generation in humans that can make money from home, that can order food from home, that can be 100% of the time at home and literally become billionaires doing that. We don't need to move anymore, and it's a problem because moving makes you feel good, it empowers you, you sleep better, many, many more things, you're better in bed. And I want you guys to really understand that you're doing it for you, because here's my trainer, you know, there's no excuse. There's fucking Zoom classes. I'm paying my trainer $50 an hour, not because he's the best trainer or he tells me how to do the push-ups differently, but because I'm a lazy ass sometimes, but having it in my calendar will make me show up. You know, half the thing is showing up, and I book him in, I do the class, it sucks, and then I'm fucking loving it every time. He pushes me to my exact limit, and there's no excuse not to do that. So, your body's important for you. It's not because a girl will notice and fuck you. She will notice, she loves a hot body, but the black box in between, you need to figure out, and we're gonna talk about it later. So, how many % would you guys give the body out of 100? 10? Yeah, pretty close. I gave it 8%. All right, cool. Moving on. We got 90-point list. Your style. Let's talk about misconceptions about style, because it's often dangerous for us guys to, you know, look at women and look how they constantly change their fashion, how they go shopping, how they have €1,000 in the bank account and they spend it on one pair of shoes and like a new dress, and it's insane, you know. I mean, I see that a lot with the girls I'm living with and dealing with. it's insane. They spend so much money on fashion. It's not good. So it's easy to say like, no, I'm a minimalist, I don't care about fashion, it's a waste of money, da. Or it's a very feminine thing, if I'm a man, I'm doing manly stuff. I'm not like looking at, what to wear, da. And there is truth in that, but that's a huge misconception because, especially Tanagazi says this really well in his book, The Appearance of Power, things that we now see as very feminine have been super masculine for a long time and have been used to show status, to show power, to show a certain rank, Like, is this guy gay because he's wearing makeup? Or he's a strong warrior? Is this guy gay because he's wearing heels and a wig and feathers? I mean, it looks a bit gay to be honest. He's like wearing tight stockings and so on. He's a fucking general. He's moving people to war. He's brave, right? So it's very easy, again, to be judgmental about things that we don't understand yet. Like, I got tattoos a couple of years ago for the first time. Who are the people who are most of the time talking about tattoos to me and have their opinions about tattoos? It's the guys who don't have tattoos, right? Who are the ones who always have an opinion about who is my current girl or my lifestyle? It's the one who don't have it at all, da. So again, the criticization. So be careful that this guy is wearing earrings, I'm wearing earrings. Obviously, all those are strong men, have a high rank, and they're signaling something. So what I'm getting at, my boy Iman, is, yeah, of course, don't buy designer clothes. Don't waste thousands of euros on the newest fashion or fall into that trap, because obviously it's a multi-billion-dollar industry. But your clothing is the thing you communicate first about you, right? You walk up to a girl, before you even open your mouth, she goes like, zoop, and she has some idea of who you might be, right? Your fashion is describing a certain archetype. So it tells you who you are to yourself, who you are to other men, we don't just only want to talk about women, and who you are to other women. So what should you wear? Let's look at a few dudes. Let's play a game. This guy, let's call him David. What is David's job? How does he make money?
He's a model.
A model? Maybe a model, okay.
Social media,
Marketing. Drug dealer. What else?
Hypebeast.
All right. What, hypebeast?
Hypebeast.
Is that a job? Can you make money with that?
Yeah, kind of.
Okay. Where does he go on a Friday? He wants to chill, he wants to party. Where does he go?
At a rave R&B club.
B club, rave. Cool. Who are his friends? What are they doing? Who is he hanging out with? Drug people, drug. Okay. So, at least we have an opinion about him, right? It doesn't mean it's true, but he clearly chose that outfit in order to communicate that about him. And in a positive sense, we can take drugs and can say, okay, he's edgy, he's dangerous. Maybe you don't want to fuck with him because if you sell drugs, you have security and so on. So he clearly chooses that over something else to communicate about him. Versus this guy, doesn't look so dangerous. What is his job?
Nerdy.
Nerdy? That's not a job.
Phone and shoes selling.
Okay, thank you. Creative.
Waiter.
The waiter, all right. Where does he go to party? Nowhere, he stays at home, all right.
Chess club.
To the chess club to party, yeah, a little chess match, cool. And what is he eating? How is his diet?
He doesn't eat. He does photosynthesis.
Okay, he's not eating enough, you mean? Vegan, maybe. Okay, he's not getting enough protein. All right. Might also not be true, right? We don't know, that's the point. But clearly, within a split second, you're like, it's this kind of guy. It's this kind of guy. His job? Business. All right. Who is he dating? What kind of girls is he dating?
Models.
Models, okay.
Our ladies.
And how does he party?
VIP.
VIP at the table. Okay. So And the crazy thing is, all those three guys could be the same guy, just dressed differently on different days. The fact is, you can use fashion and style. Like when I mean fashion, I mean clothes, jewelry, tattoos, the way you basically present yourself to the world, also how you're groomed, how's your hair, and so on. You have the choice and the power to communicate something about you with those tools. And the best part of it is, it can be done in literally like a couple of days. Either a friend who knows about fashion can help you, you can pay a stylist, whatever, you can go on Pinterest. That's a thing you don't need to spend years and years and years of doing, right? Like obviously learning how to approach and overcome that fear, that takes a long time, you know, you cannot just fix it like that. Fashion, sure, there's a progress, but it can be done way easier. So, this smart dude said, man kann nicht kommunizieren. You cannot not communicate. Like it's impossible to not communicate. As soon as you stand in front of somebody, people will make an assumption about you. So we might as well use that fact and make a positive thing. We can skip that slide. So how many percent fashion?
15.
15? 25? 10, all right. All right, I gave it 10. So, oh, there's a little guy. So this was me, a little story. Obviously horrible fashion. That hat is like almost a meme. Who knows that meme of like, you know, my lady, exactly. I wish I forgot to put it in the thing, but you guys know what I mean. It's like so tempting because when you put it on, you feel like a little bit sophisticated. And then thanks God, Liam was like, take that hat off. And I'm like, why? It's a great hat. I'm like, why off? I'm like, we're throwing it. No, not in the bin. It was like €7. I approached like 1 hour before that photo was taken in 2019, 18, I don't know, remember, 5 years ago. I approached this Mexican girl in Barcelona, and she was with a group, she was on holiday, and she was beautiful to me, so it was my start of doing day games. I approached and I got the number, and that was cool, and met her the same day, and we had a beautiful time at the beach. We didn't kiss there yet, but we met again, and a beautiful romance happened. So the thing with this is, I don't want you guys to now think like, oh, I need to fix all those things, I need to go to the gym for 6 years and then pay a stylist and blah blah blah. It's like you can do everything at where you're at right now, but you should think broader in, like you said, what's your name? Theo. Theo said he wants to develop himself in different areas as a man, and I really like that answer because that's kind of what my talk is about, to not be like hyper sniper focused on one area, but understand the principle in different areas. So bad fashion, weird, my lady hat, still got laid. All right, money. So how many percent money before I say anything?
Why are you asking that before it's any?
Yeah, because I want to talk to you guys. Otherwise, it's boring on stage.
Somewhere between 0 and 82.
Okay, that's true. All right, so the answers go all the way. Well, then let me say a little my opinion on it. So, who knows those gold digger pranks? Right, so fun to watch. It's the same feeling of, fuck those girls. All they want is the Lamborghini. It's again this thing of like, that's why this content really works, because it really talks to deep emotions inside of us. Of like fear in the sense of, oh, I'm not good enough because I don't have a Lambo. Oh, those stupid girls, if they would only know how smart I am, da da da. Or the stupid guy is probably dumb and da da da. Or you understand, or you feel even smart. Oh, I know actually that those are paid actresses and the video is not even real. So even that is an emotion that video talks to. You feeling above everyone else because you understand it's set up and da da da. So people use that to get a lot of clicks. Now, that is obviously a misconception that can be very shallow. There's gold diggers. Women want money. And it can be very shallow, but it can also be very deep. Because it's a tempting thought, because are rich guys around hot women? Yes, it's true, I mean, same thing is like, are guys who really have a great body, sometimes around hot women, yes, of course, right? And then it's again easy to make the association of money equals a hot girl loves you, right? Which might not be true. A lot of guys who have a lot of money are around hot women and are fucking desperate and angry and depressed because they spend a lot of money to get the women in the proximity. You know, think about like high class club, bottles, models, tables, but then the girl is like still not talking to him, or she's on her phone, or he tries to fuck her and she's like, fuck off, you know? And now he spent all his money and it doesn't work. So how do I notice that there is this connection that's not really makes sense? I've spent literally the last 3 years living the most insane lifestyle you can imagine. Like, I'm not making that much money, but I've been spending time on, a little braggy, on yachts that cost for a week more than I make in a year. And I've done like 5 of those trips last year. So I've spent like, in partying, I've spent my income 10 times in 1 year, but I had other people pay for it, so it was fine. So I know that those girls are not there for the money because they don't get any of the money. You know, just because the boat is very expensive doesn't mean their bank account gets higher. Just because the guy has a high number in his bank account doesn't make the girl really like him. So be careful with that. But the main point I want to make is, and I'm getting to that in the next section, is obviously, actually I get to that later. And, remember this guy? The story continues. So I was at the beach with this girl, and she was a bit weird because she was here, yeah, I'm here with this group. I'm here with my family, she said. But then she said it in a weird way. So the true complete story is, you remember I was on the beach with this hot Mexican girl, right? It was in Barcelona. So we walk home, and then she was like, well, I'm actually here with a guy. And I'm like, what? Why are you going on a date with me? Yeah, I don't really like him. I'm like, why did you come? Yeah, I don't know. He bought me like first class ticket here and paid for my whole holiday. And I don't know, he was really nice. He's a doctor from the US. And you know, I thought, I'm like 19 or 20 or whatever she was. So I might as well, you know, try it out. But I feel really weird, and he tries to fuck me. And I don't know, I regret my decision. And I'm like, okay, what are you gonna do now? I don't know, maybe leave. And I'm like, okay. So we go to her hotel. She knocks on the door. It's a true story. And I'm standing like, this is like the hotel door. I'm standing like in security distance. This guy opens up, he looks at me, he remembers me from like the park where I met her. He's like, what the fuck, this guy? And I'm like, hi. And she's like, blah, 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 blah. She walks in. I wait there for 10 minutes. She comes out with her suitcase and just leaves him. And spend the rest of the holiday with me. And it was like, it was shocking for me because like this guy literally spent $30,000 on her or more. Like the flight alone was like 12K, like first class British Airways, best hotel, best food every day. And she was just like, I don't feel good with him, you know? So are there certain girls who are like professional gold diggers, you know? Like, you know guys, there's online courses for women how to be a professional gold digger, like which events to go to and what to wear and how to like position yourself, so then what to say to like challenge his ego so he feels engaged. Like there's courses for that as well. Are there some women out there like this? Of course, right? But is it every girl who hangs out on a boat? No. Clubs obviously understand this whole principle. Who knows how a club makes money? How do nightclubs make money?
So there are basically like 3 types of customers, right? Or like 2. So
he really knows it's like 3 types.
So it's like bottle service, like the tables pay more or less for the whole evening, the crowd is just there to entertain people at the tables.
Yeah. Yes. So basically the tables pay the majority, right? It's not entry tickets, it's not the drinks at the shitty bar. Clubs are very strategic about where to position which table and where to position who in the club. COVID was really great for clubs because the dancing area became really small because you shouldn't dance because then you get COVID. Oh, let's put everybody on a table now, right? Because dancing is dangerous and we want to be health reasonable. And then now COVID is over and the dance floor is still fucking small. because the club realized, well, we make way more money just making more tables. So they would, let's say this is the top table with the dudes. Next to this table would be a table of really sexy girls. Now, why are the girls there?
They want to have a fun time. Mostly you have, I wouldn't say requirement, but a lot of clubs want you to either bring a woman with you or are more welcoming to a group of women, since obviously afterwards attract more guys, which means more income.
Yeah, you're on the right path, except the first thing of they want to have fun. Most of the model friends, they hate clubs. They fucking hate clubs. They want to be at home, order McDonald's, and watch Rick and Morty. Yes?
So you pay them.
Yes. They're getting paid. It's their job. They're getting paid to be there, and that was a shock for me. And obviously, where do you position them? Next to the best table. So the guys come to the club. They're like, oh my God, there's all those models. There's a promoter who brought the girls. He's getting paid, so they do like 50-50. Because the girls couldn't figure it out by themselves, so the promoter is kind of like the manager of them. Happening a lot in New York, where there's a lot of models who like fly to New York to become a model, and then they end up partying for 3 months and getting burned out. Anyway, obviously the guys are like, all right, how are we gonna impress those chicks? Let's order a lot of bottles, let's order the best bottle. Let's order the one for $20,000, then she will like me. And the next big problem then is the promoter, who is kind of like facilitating this whole theater, is incentivized that the guys don't get laid, that the guys almost get laid. Because if they almost get laid, they come back. It's like this addiction. It's like, oh, maybe, Lisa, she was texting back and she touched me on the shoulder and I kissed her here and she didn't mind. I figure like if we get the bigger bottle next time and we all drive up in a limousine, I think she will fuck me, So it becomes this whole thing. And I've been living it. I've been in the clubs and I see how it works, and it's kind of amazing. So should you never go to the club and never order champagne? Same with fitness and style and so on. Do it if you really don't give a fuck about the money. I'm far away from spending fucking $2,000 in a club. I've been at nightclubs the last year where probably the bill in the end was 20 or 30K. And I didn't spend a single dollar because I'm the promoter. I'm the guy who brings the girls, right? So, or I got paid. Is money bad? Everybody who has money is bad? Of course not. That's actually a quite important topic, because I'm gonna talk about, it's only 2% to get women, but it is an important thing. Me growing up, I learned that money is bad and rich people are evil, and if you try to make a lot of money, it's an evil thing. Who has a little bit of that upbringing? It's a bit of an Austrian thing, right? Gödige, who had that word? Die Gödigen. Die Gödigen. Yeah, die Gestopften, right? Still, I'm coming home, I'm having coffee with my grandmother, my aunt comes. The topic is how those people are bad and how they don't, and did you hear and this and die Gödigen, die Gestopften. Which is really bad, because it took me a couple of years to overcome that and to accept that money is a good thing. Money gives you freedom. Money gives you the ability to go to a place that you want to explore and take a girl with you and take risks, right? Money can help the people you really care about, can cure illnesses. You can pay the best doctors, you can pay coaches, you can literally buy time with money. The only way to buy time, how can you buy time?
By paying people to do stuff you would normally do, but how do you say that? Delegieren.
Delegieren, right? Outsourcing, perfect, right?
Save time. You don't buy time, you save time.
You save time, whatever you call it, right? Yeah. You can also, if it's for yourself, you can buy other people's mistakes, right? You can try to figure out, if I had to build, what should I build? Let's try to build a pottery or whatever. Let's try to learn programming, right? I want to learn programming. I could figure out myself and test out every possible, combination, or just pay somebody who teaches me. I did figure out, pick up at the beginning tried to figure it out myself, or I join a mentor and have other people who help me, or many other examples. So money is a good thing. You shouldn't reject money. Just don't make the association that if I have this, the women again will have sex with me. It's a bonus. So we still didn't really give away a lot of percentages, huh? All right, lifestyle. Are you digging this, guys? So far, so good? You enjoying this? All right, cool. Who knows this guy? Nobody. All right, this guy is one of the biggest scammers in the world. He's one of the guys who stole the most money anybody ever has stolen. There's a book called $1 Billion Whale, and he stole $3.2 billion of the Malaysian government because he understood at least one thing. He understood that money by itself doesn't really get girls, but the things that money buy. So he's obviously a scammer. He's like fucking running away from the FBI right now. But for the couple of years where he was a free man, he had an insane life. He paid, everybody knows this chick, right? Emily something, Polish model, Rostowski. Yes. Then Paris Hilton before. He partied with Leonardo DiCaprio. He bought people with money. Not to bang her, not to have sex with her, but to be seen, to buy status, right? Now, did he end up having sex with girls? I don't know, But clearly he made big waves. Like in this book, it's quite crazy. There's people like Leonardo DiCaprio and so on, like A-list celebrities describing him as their good friend and how it was always great with him and good parties. Really, he paid them a shit ton of money to be seen, and obviously then B and C celebrities and whoever he wanted to entertain got sucked into that. Okay, so let's talk about lifestyle without money. Because lifestyle, as you can guess, we got 80 points left to give, is a pretty big part of that whole thing. Why did it? They don't like me. All right, I'm not gonna touch this. Let's compare this guy versus this guy. And I'm just gonna make up some stories. This guy is obviously, where's his job? Lawyer, banker, right. Let's call him a lawyer. So he looks good, he's healthy. Let's assume he has a good style out of lawyers, but obviously the suit is also attractive. He probably makes really good money. Let's say he's a lawyer in the US making $300,000 a year, whatever. And he wants more girls. But all day long, he's in his lawyer office, his coworkers are male. It's gonna be really hard for him to meet girls, because really, what is lifestyle? It's basically, are you able to draw people, and by people I mean the women you want, right? If we talk about dating, are you able to draw them into your life and give them experiences? That's why Tilted works. I'm not paying for the boat, the girls are not paid. They come because I understand what they want, and we can talk about that later. That's why they show up, They even have to, pay their own taxis and flights and makeup and getting done. They spend money to come on a trip. They don't getting paid. So this guy works really hard, makes good money. He's a cool guy, high value male. This guy decided, I'll just take on maybe an online job, work from a cafe, maybe also half-time barista, half-time copywriter for some startup. And I'm just gonna work in the cafe, and I'm just gonna go to yoga 4 times a week instead of grinding in the office all day. Now that decision alone will expose him to so many more women all the time, right? That little switch of like, I'm not gonna choose this career all the time, but this. He will meet girls at the yoga class. He can be way more relaxed, New girl joining the class, he doesn't instantly need to be like, wanna go on a coffee and da-da-da. He doesn't need to be the pickup dude all the time. He can just, literally, he could have no game, like no social skills, just be chill, just not be over eager, and only by that, and then sometimes just invite girls to the cafe where he's working, and he would probably get laid eventually, just because he's exposed to lifestyle, to network, and I guess that's how most people do get laid, right? People who don't really go into seduction or anything like that, they hopefully one day a girl will join my class and pick me up, and then it's the done deal. Now, think about what habits and routines and hobbies you guys have that you could add on to or replace with something where you're going to meet more women, right? Like, could you join a yoga class? Could you join something that's creative where usually more girls are drawn into, a dance class or something like that? And could you position yourself, in a sense, better to be more exposed to the women you want? I mean, the more extreme one is move from a small town to a big city, right? Move from a city with kind of this vibe to a city where there's a lot of women and a lot of single women and so on. Who wants to hear the story of a model in Stockholm? I'm only going to tell it if you want to hear it. All right. So I was in Stockholm with a buddies. We did a little bit of an event. So we were in a restaurant table. It was like a mixed ratio, women, men, and there was this beautiful, beautiful, like 10 out of 10 model on the other table. And gladly, I knew how to approach. So I walked up to her. Hello, you're very beautiful. Hello, friend, blah, 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 blah. Do you want to come with us to the club later? We have something organized. Cool. So obviously, I'm ticking the boxes of lifestyle network because I have other people on my table. I had a good style and so on. The craziest thing is the guy who then, sponsored the table, and he was this rich guy who wanted to network with us. He literally owns a factory. I think his net worth was like 100 million euros or more. And he saw that girl and she was on her the whole evening. And what he didn't understand is that to let the network work for him. He thought, oh, I need to push really hard. So the great thing about lifestyle is, and he chased her around, he chased her through the club, he danced with her at the home party, da-da-da. He was like, hey, you want another drink? He tried to get her drunk, da-da-da. So he relied on his game, on his talking, but his game was really shit. And he didn't just lean back, because all I did is I didn't talk to her anymore for the rest of the night. All I said was like, hey, here's the fridge. If you want a drink, you can take it. Welcome, bye. And then eventually, she sat down to me when this guy went to the toilet for the first time. She sat down to me and like leaned into me. So I had to do nothing. All I had to do is let the environment work for me. Like, I didn't say anything. I didn't have to show where I'm from or what I'm working on. I was just a normal guy, but I was really chill. And the fact that I was already there, I was already in that environment. There was other girls around me, comfortable with me, right? Other girls talked to me, they came to me, they walked away. I didn't really have to say anything to her. The communication was enough. And this guy wanted to use his money, his status, because he was the boss of the factory and he owned like 12 supercars, to get her. And she was just like, especially a girl at that level is repulsed by that, because that's every other guy's tactic, right? So to tilt it, it's the same philosophy, right? Like, let's brainstorm together instead of me just telling you guys. Why do girls go on expensive trips? Like expensive trips, and like party trips and mall trips, yes.
Yeah, just for fun.
Fun? Okay, what does fun mean?
For the experience.
What does it mean, fun experience?
To say that I've been there.
Okay.
What was the question?
What is fun? What could be fun?
Fun is having parties, just maybe drinking.
Yeah, okay. Comfort in what sense?
Like just relaxing and going.
Mm-hmm. Holiday, yeah. Yes? Different emotions? Positive emotions, yeah. Boost the Instagram, yeah.
Memories or their experiences.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Couldn't they have...
Networking.
Yeah, networking, good. Yes, and all that at a 10 out of 10, right? You guys are right, but you could have fun in your local bar, you could have da-da-da. It's just the best version of it, right? Because, I mean, let's be honest guys, who judged the Instagram models or anything like that here and there? Who is a little bit judgy or had at least judgmental thoughts toward those women? You don't be shy, right? Here, me too, normal, right? And some of that is true. It's like, certain like Vorurteile. What's Vorurteile in English? Wow, you guys are educated. Are true. Now, imagine you're a 21-year-old hot girl in a village. You get a lot of attention on Instagram, and your option is either to date Miles, or like spend time with Miles, who's like the local DJ, who's like, hey, you want to go to coffee to like the normal coffee place? And then we can have like, you know, we can watch a movie maybe. Or, and obviously Instagram changed the world a lot, like insanely. Or it's like this other guy who invites her and her friend to a yacht, and they're gonna party, and she knows it's gonna be safe, because that's very important. And yes, she can boost her Instagram because there will be this other cool photographer, and she will network, and there will be other girls, and she has amazing experiences because she could have never afforded it by herself from her student wage or whatever. What would you do? You know, like you can't really judge her. The other thing is though, safety is huge, because I see it with my girlfriend now. She literally gets 10, 20 like offers every day in her Instagram that are like, come to Dubai, 20,000 plus tickets plus shopping. Come to there, be my queen, 8,000 a month, da 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 da. Hey, come to this place. Hey, I got this yacht. There's other girls, but the safety is missing, right? So I created a network and a lifestyle where girls feel really comfortable, because the guys are not instantly trying to hit on the girls, because they see the long vision. They're not like the guy in Stockholm who is like, can we fuck tonight, please? You know, like I'm out of here soon. Like, let's do this. They're very laid back, and obviously that makes the girls relaxed, and they also want to have fun, and things happen. But I'm not gonna say more to that. So how many percent to lifestyle? 30. Yeah. So it's pretty big, and I guess that's how most guys get laid, right? They try to be in shape, don't look bad, their breath shouldn't stink, and then hopefully through the network, through the university, through the club, they get laid here and there. Now, the remaining is charm. And charm is a very broad term. Charm is game, is your communication skills, it's your seduction skills, it's how you go in bed, it's can you draw things out of people, can you approach, do you have social freedom? All of that is the remaining 50%. So let's talk about this a little bit, because that's obviously what you guys also want to improve. And I guess what's really hard to improve, because it's such a complex topic. Like, who can just simply describe, like we said before, how to talk to a girl, you know? It's very individual. It comes from a very deep sense of like inner confidence, being able to be good at game. Now the good thing is, if you're good at game, you almost don't need those other things so much to get really good results. So I split it up in like 5 categories. Social freedom / inner game. The reason people neglect their charm is because it's really hard to get into. In order to do that, you have to face your ego. Like, who has done like more than 10 approaches? Day game, cold, all of you guys. Amazing.
In total?
Yeah, more than 10, right? Who did more than 100? Wow. Okay, super experienced group. And so you guys know it's hard. It's not easy to start that, right? It's a process that will challenge your ego. You will feel bad here and there. You open yourself up to that vulnerability that a girl is just like, no. And you have to deal with that, and you have to learn to deal with that. And then maybe you have friends who like, you know, you might have really supportive friends, but you might have friends like, you fucking loser, why are you doing this? Or haha, or he's trying to get laid, something like this. Like, that whole process is quite difficult, especially at the beginning. Like, if you guys remember the first couple of approaches, who felt super nervous? Like, it is fucking hard, right? That's why people don't get into it. That's why they try to figure it out in any other direction. Oh, the 6-packs, the texting from home, the Tinder profile, you know, oh, I really work on my career and then eventually we pay off. They all do that to just not do this step. You know, most guys, not you, gladly you're here to overcome all this and did, obviously, but most guys out there want to do everything before they work on this. So that's a huge step. Let's do a demo. Everybody stand up and find a partner. So 2 guys together. And all right, partner A and B. All right, now look each other in the eyes. You can pick one eye and hold eye contact for 20 seconds. Okay, now project, still keep eye contact, project anger into the eyes. Project, you're angry. Don't break eye contact. Now project friendliness. How was that? It was literally 30 seconds. How did it feel? Awkward? Normal? Anything else? Normal for you guys. You guys are professionals. Now, sitting in that pressure, literally 90% of people can't even do that, right? They break eye contact, they avoid that, and can they do it with a hot girl on the street that is just mad? Fuck no. Except you can. They're running away from that. Approaching. Literally, you deciding, okay, I'm just gonna fucking approach women on the street, in cafes, and wherever right now, adds 10% to your game. Like, all the fucking thing that you work on otherwise, start, overcome social freedom, do approaching, you're already having 20%. And obviously those numbers are made up, you know, it's not a scientific study after 50 years, but it gives you guidelines of, if you focus on those 2 things, like you love yourself and you're confident and you work on that and you know, the stuff that Stefan shared and so on, and you add on, you're just gonna fucking say hi to people, you're already out working, in a sense, all those people who focus on career and all this other shit. Okay, we do another demo, another little exercise. So go into same pairs of, yeah, same pairs is fine. Just stand up. And just, this is basically on communicating and holding space. So you, partner A is gonna start, you're just gonna be having a very normal conversation. Hey, hello, what's your name? My name is this, da da da. But with one rule, so you're gonna have small talk, it doesn't need to be deep. One rule is, every time the A partner finished a sentence, the other one will wait for 2 seconds, right? So he's like, the guy tells me, hey Alex, how are you? I'm good. How are you today? And he's like, oh, it's nice. I like when the weather is sunny. Yeah, it's been crazy, and so on, right? So 2 breaths before you say the next thing. So just go along.
It's great to practice it when you're in a group.
Amazing exercise, right? And imagine you're doing this to women. Who has never done that to a girl when they talk to her on the street? Just like a little bit, just chilling the fuck out. Imagine what that does to them. First of all, what it does to you is you have more time to think, which is a good thing to think, like, you know. You actually gonna really listen, because another problem is, you know, oh, where are you from? Oh, cool, yeah, from here. All right, what do you study? Oh, yeah, study. You already know about the next thing you're gonna say, and you have your routine until you don't, and then you don't know what to say anymore. Because now you ask her 4 questions, and she's like, what is this, an interview? Right? So it actually makes you listen. It makes you pause. It creates tension. Like, it's a bit awkward, right? It just with the eye contact, as you said, you put pressure on girls. It makes her think, oh my God, did I say the wrong thing? Why is he staring at me like this? You know, oh my God, like, it makes her instantly invest more. If you take this to the extreme, you will learn, now girls start asking you questions, you know, they start becoming interested. So that is one small part of communication skills. There's more. Obviously, are you able to draw things out of people that they usually don't share? Are you able to share about yourself in an interesting way, right? We talked about that. Are you able to lead conversations somewhere where it's positive for her? Yes, you have a question?
But I often found that when I tried this, like, put a bit more pressure on her, or like waiting a bit more, that she gets nervous and like pulls out of the conversation.
Yes, she gets nervous, which is good. You're playing with pressure and release, and you seem to be doing a good part putting pressure. Now, maybe you're not releasing it early enough, or you I mean, it's a complex topic. Right now we're in coaching territory, but it might be that you're doing it as a technique, not as I'm listening in and I'm simply interested in you and I'm smiling a little bit, versus just like, all right, my coach told me 1, 2, 3, you know? There is a way where it's like riding a bike, you know? Like at some point you find the balance. And your other thing, which is like your posture, your authority, the way you talk, your clothing. When I do it to a girl, she gets nervous, but she's not walking away, you know? And if she walks away, I'm like, hey, hold on. Hey, wait a minute, you know, and I'm like, I get her back in. Because I'm just like, all right, maybe I went a bit too far, but I'm like, oh, before you go, and maybe I take a step back and I release and I look somewhere else and I become a little more giggly and I release, you know? So that might be the reason, like if you watch my infield videos, sometimes they're super boring because all I'm doing is eye fucking them and they get really horny. And then I'm like giggly again, I release the pressure. So I'm playing with that. It's like a dance. So communication skills and so on. Then at some point you realize, all right, I'm getting good at talking to girls, getting the numbers. Who had the problem that they got a lot of numbers, but girls are not on dates so much, right? Or they end up on a date and they're like, all right, what do I do now? How do I touch her? How do I get her, get her to bed? It's a common problem with guys I coach. So that's a whole skill, right? I ended up with way more girls on dates when I became really good at approaching, and I was terrified of even touching them. You know, I was pretty shy in that sense. So you being good at opening, manly, not afraid to touch, leading well, knowing when to pull off a bit, handling rejections. Steve said that as well. Sometimes a girl just turns away. I mean, not sometimes, eventually every girl rejects you at some point, Like if a girl, from the moment you say hi to the bedroom, never is ever like, no, let's slow down, I would be a bit, critical anyway. Like there's always some moment where a girl is like, hey, not now, right? And sexual skills, if you're good in bed, if you fuck her well, if you're open, if you have an open mind, if you can handle the awkwardness that sex sometimes is, if you can handle that well, she will become a repeating customer, as we call it. Because also, why do all this and then you only fuck her once? Like, what's the point of that?
Did you watch the interview with Castillo?
No. Who is that?
You said repeat customers, he did that.
Oh, he did? Okay, yeah. I don't know where I have it from. Why go all through this, work to seduce a girl, to overcome the anxiety, and finally we have her in the bedroom, and then guys are like, they worry about their lay count or some shit. Like, what the fuck? Like, who gives a fuck about your lay count?
John Anthony.
Yeah, fuck that. Like, he has a high lay count because probably every girl is repulsed by him after they fuck him. So he constantly needs to find new girls. I don't know.
He's 1,500 something and counting.
Wow.
Plus 30
Cool.
countries.
How does this help the girls he's with, himself, or the students he's coaching,
His ego.
Yeah, his ego. So it's like, I don't give a fuck anymore if I have sex with 5 girls per year if I'm single, if I'm regularly, building strong, deeper connection with them. And of course, here and there, it's fun to get a blowy in the toilet, But you know what I mean. All right, who wants to find out their personal score? This is a fun exercise. I'm gonna lead it a bit. So take a paper or phone note. I think everybody has paper here. So write down, what was it? Body, right? Body, style, money, lifestyle. I'm gonna guide you, so you don't need to write yet. Just write the topics yet. So in body, I guess everybody can rate themselves. 8 is, so we have 8 to give. 8 is like jacked, 6-pack, looking great. 1 is overweight. How do you rate yourself? All right, next one is lifestyle. Next one is style. Let's think about back at the beginning of the talk. Do people know when they see you without you talking? Can they make the correct assumptions about you? Are you communicating successfully about who you are, what you're doing? Are you attracting the people you want to attract with your clothing? Are they like, oh yeah, this kind of guy, maybe I fuck him, let's find out, So from 1 to 10, you have 10 points. How many do you give yourself? Next one is money. That was easy. If your net worth is under 100K, you have 0. If you have under 1 million, you have 1. Over 1 million, you have 2. All right. Then lifestyle. All right, now we got 30 points. Now it gets more fun. So 0 is if you're at home, never leave the house. None of you guys are dead anyway, because you're here. 5 is like you have a job, your co-workers are mainly male. Here and there you go to the beers with the boys, maybe a boy brings his girlfriend, but there's not much going on. 10 points if you are, and you can in between. 10 if you sometimes go to social events, sometimes go to concerts, sometimes you can bring girls on those concerts that you maybe want to date and fuck. 15, you create sometimes your own events, but they're not too good yet, you know. You're struggling to bring girls, but at least you're taking initiative. You can bring your coworkers and maybe some coworker friends. 20 and 15, you also get invited to cool events suddenly. 20 is like you create your own events and more people come, it becomes easier. You sometimes get late on those events even. You have a more creative social circle. You have a thing like yoga class or whatever, where you meet new girls that you can kind of use to build your network and invite to your parties. Then 25, if you are creating events where people like really want to come, they pay to come, it's like limited, there's a waiting list, people are like bragging how they came to your event, they want to be associated with you, and they make up stories how they were there where they're not even there. And 30 is like, if you're 30, raise your hand, I want to be your friend. All right, cool. Everybody has ideas, sort of. Then the other one, you can give yourself sub points in each of those categories. So if you're approaching regular, which a lot of you guys are, you can already give yourself 9 or 10 points of this and just split it up here.
What's inner game?
Inner game, basically social freedom. So you are able to, while you're doing it, you overcome the anxiety of approaching, you can deal with rejection, you develop strong mindsets around certain things. All right? I feel like a teacher. So, who wants to share their score? Add it all up. Just scream it out, yeah?
45.
45? 43? 50, nice. And it's not a dick measuring contest, by the way.
That's not a measure.
We can talk about dick size if you want.
Yeah, with a bunch of dudes.
It is obviously a thing because it's here, and it's a small part in this, right? So it's very negligible because you can do so much in this sexual skill, even if you have a small dick. Sure, are we living in a world where we have genetic characteristics and some people are born with the lottery and others not? Yeah, but I'm, as you see, not particularly tall and I'm losing hair and I have a small dick. And it still works, right? It might make you work way harder in the other percentages in this. So, it's obviously a big topic, and so it's good to talk about it. But it plays very little role in the ultimate thing of, are the girls you're attracted to you? Do they fall for you? Those things in combination are the things that really make girls fall for you, right? Yes, you can buy a girl being next to you. Yes, you can work your ass off in the gym and a girl will like your photo. But the thing that we really want is that the girls we want, that they desire us, that they fall for us. One friend says that we own their soul. All right, cool. So I think that's motivating because it means there's so much potential you guys can still work on, right? That's how I see literally everything. Yes? I tell you what it was. Because I asked that question, like, what was my score when I started all this? I got to my journey. I reveal it somewhere here. Here, I was. I gave myself body, okay. Fashion, not really. Money, nope. Network. I organized the pre-drinkings before we went to the club, and sometimes, it was like nice ratio, cool. I was not approaching it at all. I was not really social because I didn't have a big social network. My conversation skills were not bad. I was a pretty romantic guy, was always. And once I felt comfortable with a girl, I was pretty good in bed. Obviously, when it's a totally new girl and other things, I lose my boner and stuff like this. But if I like the girl and she likes me and she was chill, so that 44% I gave myself there, retrospectively. So that was me back then. Actually, does anybody want to come out, and who is brave enough to come out and I critique their score and we talk about it? Okay. Yeah. All right, let's hear it. Because this is not to, I love that you're brave enough to do it. This is kind of the point of this whole talk of what should you work on, right? That's what we started with. What should you work on to get to a higher level? And then obviously all of those things as details, but that's what coaching is for. That's what the detailed books are for. That's what you can, book calls with me. All right, let's see.
All right, I gave myself
Body
5 to 6.
looks pretty good. I see the little biceps there. Yeah, nice. Good posture.
Style between 6 and 7. I gave myself 7.
7. All right. What do you guys think? What is his job? Does he communicate? Casual.
Almost.
You're wearing jewelry. That's cool. Maybe a bit too much even. It's a little the pick-up-y kind of thing. Through the jewelry, does it tell a story about you?
Then I'm a douchebag.
You want to communicate a douchebag. I would give it a 4.5. No, 5.5. Sorry, 5.5 for now. All right, cool. Keep going.
Money 0.
Yeah, feel ya.
Yeah. Lifestyle 10 if I'm generous.
Thanks for being honest. Cool.
Charm.
What is it about your lifestyle that makes it a 10?
I go to clubs. I don't know. I don't organize very much. I bring some girls to the club when I go out at sometimes. And
what could you do to get it to a 15 or a 20? What changes could you make next week for you, and ask yourself the same question? What changes could you make in your life to get it +5, +10 points?
approach more girls.
Yeah,
Probably
that's a fun one.
To get more of them and create a bigger network.
Into your house parties or whatever, meeting at the park or
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that I would need money for, so I can buy myself. Like I rent an apartment.
Yeah. Are you living with your parents?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. But you could. I want to challenge that because I need money for that. You don't need money to go and every Friday evening bring a couple of beers and the watermelon and whatever to the Donau and put a speaker on, and one guy brings his guitar and the other one brings some weird drum thing, and it's a cool thing, and you bring people there. It costs zero money, and at the worst you can tell everybody to bring their own drinks.
And last but not least, charm 22.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because you're approaching.
I'm approaching, but that is like a weak point. I still struggle with it
Mhm.
a lot. I can hold pretty good eye contact. When I'm in the set, I'm not really scared of saying different things. Sexual, it's okay, but not a fan. And what's the last thing?
You go on dates, you're getting numbers.
In your game, I also deduct myself a few points there, and I just roughly estimated it somewhere between 20 and 25, so 22.
Right. Cool. I think you can give yourself a bit more. Like the fact that you are approaching, that you're here, that you're on stage, brave enough to sit here. I would give myself a bit more. All right. Thank you. Cool. So, my journey, real quick, since you guys also asked, I gave myself 44%. This was me I love that photo because it shows how technical of a nerd I was. So I started here in Vienna, right? I moved back to Vienna, I tried it, and I realized I can't do this by myself. Like, I love events like this. I love that you can find wingmen here, you can support each other. I saw James's videos and I was like, I need to work for this guy, I know. I don't wanna be this Austrian guy who has the job and then just does the things that everybody else tells you to do. I knew there's something else, but I also knew I cannot get there alone. So I worked with James, and it was like, the analogy is like, I ran up that hill, which was like, I need to learn how to talk to girls. And I learned how to talk to girls, and I became really good at talking to girls. And then kind of like the map zoomed out, and I was like, oh, I'm just only standing on a hill, right? It's like, I thought I climbed this big mountain of once I do the thing, right? Then, okay, I met other mentors. Shay, Bluey, I learned about other social skills, about sexuality, about stuff like this. I started working out more. Cool. I learned how to date game really well, go on dates, have more sex with random women. Bigger hill. Then, another short story, a pretty humbling phone call. So there I was, it was like 2018, Liam? Yeah, 2018, so 4 years ago. I was pretty good at approaching already. And I thought like, cool, I'm coaching, I know how this works, you know, I'm this cool pickup master dude. I'm making videos, I get laid, I get a phone call. And it's basically this Playboy boss who knows us. And he's like, yo, Alex, I got this client in town. And he knew me as this cool guy who is fine around girls, because I am comfortable around it, right? Hey, so can you just show this guy around? You know, he's in town for 2 days. He's managing this Bitcoin fund. You know, his boss is worth like 2 billion. So he's just here for a short time, just holiday, just show him a good time. You can do that? I'm like, okay. Beep. So here I am, you know, thinking I'm this pickup guy and I know how to girls. And I'm like, okay, show him a good time, bring some girls. He was like, go to the restaurant, bring some girls. He will pick up the bill. Don't worry about that. Cool. I'm like, I look at Liam. They're like, we don't know any girls. I'm like, the only girls we know are the ones we approach on the street. The only ones we know are the ones we like date and then fuck. And I was in that mindset the whole time of like, oh, leg count, right? And like seduction skills and da 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 da. I totally forgot the whole like several mountains that is like, be a social guy. Be a guy people want to be around, you know? Be a guy that can shut the fuck up sometimes, you know? Like, who is usually the coolest guy on a table? It's the guy who says the least, who's not constantly trying to bring his point across. So we were like, fuck, what are we gonna do? So we ended up calling our role play girls, who are the girls that help us a lot in our workshops. You know, we run for different drills. We're like, hey, you wanna come for a free dinner? And they're like, nah. Like, what if I pay you 50 euros to come for free dinner? Okay, you know, so we had to pay the girls in the end. How pathetic is that? All the girls I knew, because I didn't want to bring my 3 chicks that I'm banging onto one dinner and suddenly like, how did you meet Alex? And why did you, it's like, I didn't have a social circle. So here I was in Budapest back then, and as connected as I was of doing hundreds of approaches, I was also isolated and the pickup guy, and I didn't really, you know, do stuff like that. So we brought those girls. Then I was like, it was a wake-up call. I was like, I need to create something that draws people in. So we started what every young gentleman does. He starts doing house parties, provide the alcohol. That turned into, you know, people coming. That was great because it took off pressure in day game as well. When I knew, okay, the girl is not really into me, I can just put her on ice. I can add her to my Instagram, and I can hope that she shows up to my house party, right? Like a big mistake guys are often making, they're like, hey, do you want to go for a coffee after like a 2-minute conversation? Like, no, she won't. Why would she meet you for a coffee after she met you for 2 minutes? You know, it's way cooler. I can just add her to Instagram, ask her later. She can bring a friend. She can feel safe. She doesn't need to sit one-on-one with me 3 hours. So I fueled that, and my first threesome, which is not a story. We're running out of time, I'm sorry. And I realized, fuck, there's people who do this on another level. Like this guy, you probably don't know him. Who knows this guy? He changed my life. He is richer than the people with the most money in the world, because he helped organize an event that I was on, that I paid to be on, you know, because as with workshops, I spent probably 50,000 euros at the beginning to buy myself into social circles that I'm now creating myself, because otherwise how the fuck would I know how to do it? He is a photographer in the perfect niche of lifestyle, nudity, but sensual, one girl in beautiful location. And he did one Instagram story of who wants to come in 2 weeks to Cannes, villa, blah, 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 shoot with me. And the hottest girls of Russia texted him. His inbox was full of models and models and models who all wanted to hang out with him. Because he got many things that we talked on before right. He got the style right, because he was this traveling guy, the body right, he's jacked, money doesn't matter. He had charm and he communicated it really well through his social media, right? That's why I'm really big on social media. You can talk about yourself in just a story. You don't need to DM people all the time. And so the hottest girls of Russia who really connected with that were in his inbox. And I'm like, fuck, that's power. That's so much more powerful than fucking buying a car, or like, it blew my mind. And that's how this whole thing started. It's like, fuck, he's more powerful than any billionaire I know. I didn't know any billionaires back then. Some of my parties, and that's how I got there, right? It wasn't with money, it wasn't anything else. It was really understanding what do the girls want and what makes them comfortable around me. The reason all those girls are doing this is because they like me, they're comfortable around me. Because I can pause, I can chill, I can put pressure when I have to, I can fuck them well if I have to, I can also respect when they have a bad time, and so on. So I climbed the mountain, and then I got a girlfriend. I was like, fuck, I don't know anything. Again, right? Suddenly you have a girlfriend, you're like, all I've been doing is being this fuckboy who bangs every girl like 3, 4, 5, 6, 10 times, but then it's like, I don't want to deal with your emotions. So then I realized it's a whole Alps and I don't know what the fuck I'm doing anyway. That's where I'm now. I'm now in a relationship. Yay! And I'm learning a lot. So probably my next, in 1 year, I'm going to talk about relationship dynamics, because I've been doing many other things the last couple of years. I've been very focused on all the other aspects. So my mission is to help guys. I really enjoy my job. You know, I could be doing many other things, but I've been in this for 8 years now, and I really want to help guys have fulfilling relationships, because it is the thing that makes you the happiest. And it's relationship with yourself, with your friends, with your parents, you know, resolving trauma and conflict, and obviously with the women you want to date and fuck and marry and make kids with eventually, maybe, or not. So that's my thing, and I could have not done it alone. Like, as I said, I had mentors along the way. It was James, it was a photographer, it was collaborating with Liam on those crazy tilted parties. He's doing half the work. There's house parties I had guys. Like, connecting with other strong guys who are on the same path, you know, that's why going to the gym is great, because usually there's other guys who also want to be fit and be cool and work out, right? Is super important. So I have a little offer for you guys. First of all, thanks for watching that long talk. You made it to the end. I just arrived in Dubai, at my friend's place. Pretty baller. He owns a software company, he makes good money. Now, why can I be here? Obviously, because I really understand the 5 elements on a deeper level, and I used all the principles of it to build an amazing lifestyle. It all started not like this. It all started with small house parties and small apartments in Budapest, though, and by getting girls from the street to show up at my parties. If I would have stayed at my village where I grew up, I would have never done this. All the people who I went to school with, they would not support me in my day game journey. They would think it's weird, and so on. So what I really needed at the beginning is a community, and that's why I started the Discord. It's over 250 members in there already, and I want you to join. You will find other people in there. You will find guys who support you on your mission, and you can support them. You can give value and you will get value back. And my goal with it is to build an amazing tribe. So it's absolutely for free. There's over 250 members already in there. Click below, answer a few questions, and you will be part of the very powerful Discord community.